So, who are the real coons? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic Reason. And as always, I'm going to say thank y'all for joining me today. So I'm pretty sure everybody's heard the expression coon. I just find it hard to believe that anybody in the English-speaking world has not heard this word, especially the way it's being thrown around in all various forms of media by a group of people who's claiming to be disenfranchised and disempowered, but have some of the loudest mouths out here. Now, basically, they will say that a coon, or of the people who are being labeled as coons, are, I would say, black conservatives. These are the people who basically don't believe in victimhood, don't support the victimhood, don't believe that blacks are oppressed. Any black person who believes this, they would say that that person is a coon. But whenever the word coon is thrown around by these race hustlers, the first thing I'm always doing is I need somebody to explain what a coon is. And again, I have my definition of what a coon is, but I do this so, number one, we're all on the same page. And for number two, you cement every goalpost. You got to cement every goalpost and bolt down anything they can move whenever you're dealing with leftists, because they are willing to move the goalpost and lie if you let them. They will lie. Now, the meaning of a coon, would be a black person who does things that are detrimental to the black community. Now, I think, that anybody would agree with me. All the race hustlers, they would agree with me on this. That's what a coon is. But then then I have to ask myself, well, then how are black conservatives the coons? When I put, if we take what we stand for as black conservatives, and then we take what they stand for as black leftists, and let's pull it up to the definition of coon and see who's the real coons, right? So the black conservative message is, yeah, America used to be a bad place for black people. They had such a thing called segregation, Jim Crow. Black folks used to be enslaved in this country, even though slavery was everywhere. Black America used to be a place where a black person was actually being disenfranchised and being held back by a system. There was such a thing as systemic racism at one point in time, but it doesn't exist anymore. There's no laws against you. There's nothing that a black person cannot do, achieve, or attain in America just simply because you're black. I always say, there's no job, there's no income, there's no lifestyle. Okay, there's no occupation, there's no career path, there's no sector of the society. There's absolutely nothing that a black person cannot do, achieve in this country because you're black. Okay, there's no state you can't live in. There's no city that you can't live in. There's no university that a black person cannot go to or attend just because they're black. So if you have all this opportunity available to you, more opportunity than black people have ever had in America, and if you really want to honor your ancestors, then take advantage of all the opportunity that they didn't have. You want to do something? Find out what exactly it is that you want to do. Find out what you have to do to achieve that, and then do it. Roll up your sleeves and get to work. Now, the black leftist narrative is, woe is me, systemic racism, white man keeping us down, all this racism and more racism. So I ask myself, if I take our message and I take their message and hold it up to the definition of coon, who sounds like the coons? Because black conservatives such as Larry Elder, Candace Owens, who's quote unquote not invited to the cookout, Thomas Sowell, people like that will be called coons, but yet their message doesn't sound like coon. Matter of fact, if black people were to listen to the black conservative message, black folks will be flourishing in this country just like every other immigrant group comes here and flourish. So I'd have to say that these leftists, they're the real coons. The Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons of the world, Tariq Nasheeds, Dr. Umar Johnson, who's been opening a school for the last 10, 15 years. And, I believe that we're going to be in the middle of a 1,000-year reign, and they're going to be still painting walls on this school, which I say he should call the Justice Jackson L. Sharpton Academy, because it's all it is about race hustling. But these are the real coons that keep telling black folks to be perpetual victims in a land of opportunity. All this opportunity, and we have evidence of black people from immigrant groups coming here, as well as black people who are, as they say, FBA, are achieving and attaining, but yet you keep listening to these race hustlers tell you that you're being held back. I just never understood this, how black people, all of this time, but we talking, we have so much social media and so much information out there, and yet you have black people listen to a bunch of race hustlers tell them that they're being oppressed and held back financially and economically, and they're all doing well for themselves, right? It's those same race hustlers are telling black folks the white devils, the white devils, the white devils, and they all build homes, live in homes in high-rise condos surrounded by the white devils. But black people keep still listening to these people. But again, it's obvious who are the real coons. There's no doubt about it. The real coons are these black leftists who keeps leading black people astray, who keeps throwing nothing but hate and division at every turn, who keep injecting race into everything. It doesn't matter. It could be Captain Crunch, it could be rubber bands, it could be a pair of scissors, it could be an Xbox or a PlayStation. But anyway, like I said, I ask y'all, who do you think the real coons? As a black person, can you honestly look at what the definition of a coon is and say that the black conservatives are the coon? Can you honestly say that? Now, I would say that black folks are starting to wake up, but we still have ways to go. But you got to think for yourself, black folks. Think for yourself, and do not let these race hustlers or anybody else tell you what you must think. Think for yourself, and also think about the side that's telling you to think for yourself. Anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. We know if you do the work in and be honest with yourself, we all know who the real coons are. And as always, y'all, until next time.